Every time I finish checking one, another one shows up with a different idea or a different approach. So after a while, you naturally start comparing how they behave during normal use instead of just reading feature lists. And something kept standing out. I'd open a discussion and see users talking about transfers taking longer than expected, or trying to swap tokens but getting a completely different result than they were expecting. And after reading enough discussions, I stopped paying attention to individual complaints and started looking for patterns instead. Because when you strip everything down, most people are doing the same few things. They move assets, receive assets, swap one token for another, and that's pretty much everyday crypto. So whenever I find a wallet that approaches those basic tasks a little differently, I like spending some time with it before saying anything about it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do here. And before talking about how everything works behind the scenes, I'll start with the setup because that's the first thing every new user sees. All right, first button here is Create Wallet. I click that and the wallet asks me to create a password. I spend an extra few seconds here because this password protects access to the wallet on my device. Once it's ready, I click Continue, and now it generates a 12-word recovery phrase. This is always the step I treat most carefully. Password protects the device, but recovery phrase protects the wallet itself. So before moving any further, I write it down and store it somewhere safe. Personally, I never upload it to cloud storage or copy it into messaging apps. Okay, then Wallet asks me to confirm the phrase by selecting the requested words. This is simply checking that the backup was saved correctly. Then I press verify, wait a couple of seconds, and that's it. My wallet is ready. The entire setup is quick and there really aren't many steps involved. So now let's see how it works once everything is configured. Instead of using a brand new wallet, I switched over to the one I've been using during my own testing. And for this example, I'll send USDT over to my Trust wallet. So first I copy my destination address. Here I press send, choose the network. I always pause for a second at this screen because selecting the correct network is just as important as the wallet address itself. Then I paste the address, enter the amount, and press continue. Okay, confirmation page. Before submitting anything, I always compare the details one last time. Destination address, network, amount, 0 transaction fees. Everything looks correct, so I click confirm. And now my transaction is being processed. This usually only takes a short moment. And there it is, USDT have arrived in Trust Wallet and my balance updated correctly. That gives me a complete transfer from start to finish. And after using this one for a while, that's exactly what happened. The interface became familiar pretty quickly, transfers followed the same simple sequence every time without fees, and everything I needed was already in one place, so the whole process felt consistent from one session to the next. And that's generally how I decide whether a wallet stays in my regular toolkit. If I can come back a few weeks later, open it, complete what I need without stopping to figure things out and move on to the next task, that's usually a good indication the overall design is doing its job.